How do you get your kids to eat healthy? It can be a challenge, like hardcore, because sometimes we're trying to eat healthy ourselves. And then when we throw kids into the mix, it makes it even that much harder. But I'm talking about some tips to hopefully make it easier. So strap in and get ready for episode 259. Let's go.
The future of fitness.
How do you gain muscle mass?
Fitness is not complicated. It's simple when you break it down.
There's so much information out there.
No fads, no diets, just plain simple habits.
You're listening to the Bones to Bulk podcast.
Hey, welcome to today's episode. My name is Brian Parody, and I will be your host. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here. For my return listeners, thank you for coming back. It means the world to me that you continue to tune in to this podcast. I know there's a lot of other things you could be dedicating your time to, so it means the world to me that you are tuning in to this. For those of you that are new, I try to keep my episodes to a minimum around 10, sometimes 12 minutes. Try to keep it short and sweet of just applicable stuff that you can apply to your day-to-day life. Nothing complicated, nothing fancy, because let's face it, fitness is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple, and it's often overcomplicated. If you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, please head on over to youtube.com/bones2bulk and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. We have a huge library of videos over there, pretty much talking on any single topic. Workouts, whether you're working out in a gym, at home, with no equipment whatsoever, you'll find something on there. So definitely check that out. With that being said, let's dive in. So I've got two kids. I've got an 8-year-old and I've got a 4-year-old, and I know how difficult getting them to eat healthy can be. So first off, if you're new to the journey, if you're just getting into health and fitness, if you're, struggling yourself, what I suggest is focus on yourself. That's right. Now, that doesn't mean they can't come alongside of your journey with you, but you've got to get your diet under control before you can expect them to get theirs under control. It's kind of like, kids, they learn by example. They pick up all the things that are nonverbal. They pick up our habits, our traits, all that. And so they're going to be watching you more than they're listening to you, which is why it's so crucial that you really establish the habits in your own life. But the good news is that can be motivation for you to get all that stuff together, right? Because you know that if, their healthy habits depend on you building your healthy habits, well, that may be just a little extra kick in the pants to get you to do what you know you need to do. So now that that's addressed, let's say that I'm not going to say perfect because nobody's perfect with their diet, but let's say you're pretty good with it. You feel like you're in a good routine with it, and yet you still just can't get your kids to eat healthier things. Well, first off, it's about balance, okay? I don't want my kids to end up in therapy someday because their dad never let them have ice cream or try candy at all in their life. Like, I'm not about that. So there's got to be balance, right? You've got to allow them to have some freedom. If they're at a birthday party, you can't say, hey, we're not eating the cake. I mean, you could, but that would probably be pretty, world ending for a 4 or 5-year-old. Just saying. So how do you work around that? Well, you still develop the habits at home. And that's where you focus on. And again, it's about that balance. So let's say 5 days a week, you have them eat healthy snacks. And then twice a week, they get to pick something completely unhealthy, whatever they want, whether it's candy or ice cream or cookies or whatever, and you let them have at it. And same with meals. You let them pick a couple meals a week that aren't healthy, just like, hey, you know what? We're going to have this meal this night. And that way they're still getting some of that, and there's not this strict cutoff of no more forever, because that can be pretty daunting for us adults as well as for kids as well. So you want to have that balance. The next thing is get them involved. We all kind of know some things that our kids will eat that are healthy, right? There should be some things. If there's not, then you need to definitely be getting them to try more things. But sit down with them. Have a real discussion with them. Even young kids, they understand this crap. You can have a dialogue and say, hey, you know what? I'm trying to get my own health in order, and I really care about you, and I want your health to be good as well. So we're kind of changing the way we eat. Have that open dialogue. Explain to them what's going on, why things are different. It's okay to do that, and they deserve that. Like, they deserve that conversation. Once that is out there, then kind of explain to them, this isn't going to be a strict, we can never eat anything bad, but really want to try to eat healthier? What are some things that you would like to have that you think are healthy? And get them to come up with ideas. Scroll through Pinterest or Google or wherever you get your recipes from and look up healthy recipes and scroll through them. Show your kids the pictures. Ask them, hey, what sounds good? This is what's in this. Look at these pictures. What looks good? Get them involved in the process. They're way more likely to enjoy something that they're eating if they were involved in the process of picking out the meal. You can get them involved in helping make it or pick out the ingredients at the grocery store at least. Like all these little things will help get them more excited about trying new and healthy foods. The next thing is there's probably some foods, not all. There's some that you can't make healthy. You can't make bagel bites healthy. I wish you could, but you can't. So there's some foods that, no, you can't make healthy. But there's a lot of foods that you can make healthy. For example, tacos. Tacos aren't really that bad. You can switch out the beef for some ground turkey and maybe some whole wheat tortillas, or do like a taco salad and get rid of the tortilla altogether. That's something that's still fun that they're probably used to. You can do like whole wheat pasta. You can do chicken, like instead of, chicken fingers, cut up some chicken in small little strips and maybe make some healthy dips that you can try and dip it in and make it a fun thing. Like there's lots of things you can do. So don't feel like you're limited with, they're only going to eat chicken nuggets. Well, guess what? If you don't get them chicken nuggets, they're not going to eat them. And you can't give in the first time they refuse to eat. You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a little bit of parenting. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times we think, well, my kid just won't eat if I didn't give him X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm pretty sure they would. The reason they're not is because they know if they don't eat, then you're probably going to cave and give into giving them whatever the junk is. I'm telling you, they'll get hungry, they'll eat it. Trust me. And I know that's hard because no parent wants their kid to be hungry. And I'm not saying like you should deprive them of meals and stuff, but there should be limitations. Like, hey, that's fine if you're not going to eat this. Here's an option B that's also healthy that you can have. And those are your choices. Like they have choices laid out in front of them. And I'm telling you, even if they refuse both of those, eventually they're going to get hungry enough and eat one of them. So those are some options to do. Another thing is planning. Planning is key with any diet, with staying on track with it. And this is by far very true with kids, because how many times have you picked the kids up on your way home from work and you know that there's nothing for dinner? So you swing through McDonald's or wherever it is and pick up some fast food, or you order some pizza. Like we've all been there. This is a big struggle for both adults, and then it gets carried over into our kids. And what you really need to do is plan. Sunday is food prep day in our house. So on Sundays, my wife and I, we make all the meals for the week and we do it together, and it can be fun. And you can, have a glass of wine or a drink of choice and make it a fun time, put some music on and just go at it and make a bunch of meals and make a bunch of food and have your healthy snacks set up for the week, divvy them out into Ziplocs or little plastic containers or whatever it is, and have it all organized, have it all ready to go, so that there's easy things you can go to during the week that aren't just giving up on everything and going and grabbing McDonald's or swinging through a gas station and grabbing a bunch of snacks. You know what I'm saying? Like having that game plan, having that set up is so beneficial. And again, it doesn't have to be a dread. I think sometimes we think about food prep and just like, oh, I don't have time for food prep. Listen, none of us have time for it, but in the long run, it's going to save you so much time and so much money. You know how long we spend sitting in drive-thrus? Like a long time. Trust me, the time it takes to make a dinner every night and go through drive-thrus, you're going to save so much time if you knock out all your meals at once. It typically takes us about 3 hours to do all the meals for the week. That's lunches and dinners. Breakfast, we usually do smoothies or something we can throw together quick in the morning, so we don't have to worry about that. But that's not bad. 3 hours for an entire week's worth of meals. Like, get in there, get it done, and you're going to be set up for success. So I hope this helps. I hope it gives you some good ideas for things you can start doing to help not only your kids eat healthier, but you as well. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to the podcast, give it a heart, a like, whatever app you're listening to it on. I would greatly appreciate that. Write us a review. It goes a long, long way. With that being said, remember, no matter what obstacles you're coming up against, what things you're facing, you can accomplish any goal that you set your mind to. You've got this.